Okay, in this video I want to talk about the root. Now, roots, as you know, they typically lie below the soil surface, below the soil. Okay, and it provides an anchorage, an anchor of plants. It's the anchorage of plants, okay, and it absorbs water. So they're the two things that a root does. Okay, absorbs water and provides an anchor. So think of the plant as the stem and the leaves as the boat. The root is the anchor, okay, that the captain throws into the water. Let me draw what the roots look like. So here's a typical root, let's say. Okay, that's a typical root. Okay, it's obviously three-dimensional, right? I'm drawing it here in 2D, but it's actually three-dimensional. It's like a tube. And you've got things coming out of it called root hairs. Okay, that's the root hair. Okay, it's very important you know this. The root hair, okay, increase the surface area for water absorption. Okay, what does this mean? Let me explain. You know what surface area is, right? Okay, it's a region. Okay, now the root has a surface area, right? It's a cylinder. Now that alone, without the hairs, okay, absorbs water. Absorbs water, fine. But to absorb water, even more water, you add extra things on. Okay, for example, let's say you have a water tank at home. Let's say 100 liter water tank versus a 500 liter water tank that your neighbor has. Which one absorbs more water? Obviously the 500 liter, right? Because it's got more surface area. It's got more space. Same thing here. Roots provide more surface area. That's how it works. Okay, so roots have hair-like projections. They're called root hairs. Okay, they come out of their surface. Okay, I should also mention water and nutrients. Okay, so they help absorb water and nutrients. That's why they're very important. Let me now talk about the flower of a plant. Okay, the flower. Now this might be a bit intense in terms of things to remember, but it's really not that bad when you break it down. So talk about the flower. Okay, what's the main role of the flower? Okay, the flowers are usually beautiful, right? Okay, but reproduction is actually the main role of the flower. Is the main role. Reproduction to give birth to babies. Okay, so they allow for sperm. The sperm, okay, the male egg, sperm contained within the pollen. Within pollen. To the ovals, ovulus, know how to pronounce that either. Okay, these are the female eggs, okay, contained in the ovary. Okay, the ovary is the female reproductive organ. Okay, pollen, so if you've watched the movie Bee Movie, okay, the bees have the job of pollinating, helping the plants pollinate, right? They transfer sperm, okay, the male reproductive egg, to the plants, okay, and in the movie when the bees stopped, right, the plants all died. They couldn't reproduce, okay. So that's what pollination means. Here are the male and female parts of the flower. Believe it or not, there are female and male parts of a flower. If you didn't already know. Okay, excuse my terrible drawing, but I'll do the best I can. Excuse my drawing. Okay, so that looks more or less like a flower, I hope. Okay, this is like a typical flower. I'm sure you'll find in your garden somewhere. Okay, here's a typical flower. Now, you know what the petals are, right? They're the leaves, leaf-like things. I should draw these in. Okay, petals look a bit like this. Okay, they're the leaf-like things. Okay, these are the petals. That's a flower. I'm actually happy with that diagram. So they're the petals. Okay, petals are like the leaf-like things, okay? Leaves of the flower, okay? So I should also have drawn the stem of the flower. So there's a stem here, obviously. Okay, you have the stem. Remember, the stem protects and transports nutrients to the other parts of the flower. Okay, inside of this tube-like thing, you have ovules. You have eggs, okay, the female eggs, okay, in this tube. The ovary, the female reproductive organ that makes eggs, is this tube here, okay? That's the female reproductive organ. I'm not sure if you've learned about reproduction already, but males and females have different types of organs, special types of organs to help them make their eggs to help reproduce. Okay, there's another thing called the stigma. Okay, this receives pollen during fertilization. Okay, the stigma. This is this tube thing. Okay, so the pollen comes in, drops it in, and fertilization happens here. They meet and they have babies. Okay, the pistil of the flower is the female part of the flower. Okay, that includes the stigma and the ovary and the ovules. All right, female part of flower. That's the pistil. This bit here, this entire bit. Now the stamen. The stamen is the male parts of a flower. Okay. Stamen is the male parts of flower. Okay, these seed-like things coming out of these balls. Okay, this stick-like thing. I should mention also called the anther. These seeds are called the anther. Okay, the filament holding them out is called a filament cell. Okay, it's the strand, a piece of, I don't know, green stuff, let's say. Okay, it's a filament cell. It holds the anther. Okay, holds this. The stamen, okay, the anther actually contains pollen. Okay, pollen is the male reproductive cell, right? So the pollen meets with the oval, the egg, they reproduce and they have babies. Okay, I want to define also the word pollination. The word pollination, okay, is the transfer of pollen from the anther, the male egg, to the stigma. The stigma is the female reproductive organ, okay, the tube. That's pollination. Now, fruits are formed after the flower is fertilized, right? The fruits are like the babies. Okay, after the flowers are fertilized with pollen. Okay, and the ovulus, the female baby eggs, sorry, the female eggs, ovulus in the pistil, okay, will become seeds. Will become seeds, so they eventually become seeds. And the flower will transform into a fruit. Okay, so you go from a male egg, female egg coming together. They make a seed, okay, a bigger thing. That seed makes a fruit. Okay, could be anything, could be a berry. Okay, the seed I should mention is the embryo of the plant. Okay, an embryo, like a male human embryo, is a baby, right? Embryo of plant. That's the seed. It's the baby. Okay, the seeds are found in the center part of flower, right? As you know, here are different types of seeds that can form. For example, watermelon seeds and peas. Okay, so that's the root part, the flower part of a plant.